The Senate adjourned yesterday after failing for the 10th time to pass a continuing resolution, dragging the government shutdown on until at least Monday. Joining us now, Republican Senator MarkWayne Mullin. And we're talking off camera, Senator. You think I'm crazy. It's Friday. You know what I mean? This is your problem. I've made it sort of my problem. But I was saying to you that the notion that somehow that people have been convinced that CR, a continuing resolution, is a time to negotiate, or where you're supposedly allowed to negotiate appropriations issues, and if you don't get it, you're going to shut down the government. That is not normal.
Yeah.
And in mainstream media at this point is saying, oh, I see it. Republicans are refusing to negotiate, but at least Josh Hawley is reaching across the aisle. This is just to keep the government open. Then you start talking about appropriations and these bigger issues afterwards. How did you lose this fight?
Well, I don't think we've lost the fight.
How do polls show that they blame Republicans?
Well, polls are as good as a person that's get on the sample poll. But I love the passion. Honestly, I love the passion and the frustration you have, because we have the same issue. Only thing is, my mama told me a long time ago, you can't argue with crazy. And when you're dealing with the situation and this is how crazy it is. Remember this continuous resolution that is clean, meaning that
they voted on. Schumer backed it once.
Schumer wrote it.
Right.
Remember, this is a CR that we voted on back at last September to keep the government open when Schumer was leader of the Senate and Biden was in the White House. This is the same one they voted for in December, same one they voted for in January before President Trump was sworn in, and the same one he voted for in March. There is no right or policy. There is nothing to negotiate. It's a plain, simple CR. If there was some Republican policies that was on this, and there was some give and take, that's fine.
Right.
But they're saying, accept our $1.5 trillion to open it up for 2 weeks, or we're going to stay shut down.
It's pure and simple blackmail that they will not do it without Republicans doing what they want. And if the shoe was on the other foot, it was a couple of years ago, I guarantee you the media would be going insane that Republicans had shut down the...
I've never been a fan of anybody shutting down the government. It's the wrong way to do business. But I will say, from their perspective on this, it reminds me of my little brothers. I had one brother who was a year and a half younger than the other one. When they were little, Brian, the younger brother, bit Bobby. And my uncle yelled at him, "You can't bite him." And Brian ran off crying, and my uncle chased him down and said, "Why are you crying?" He said, "Because if I don't bite him, I can't win." Like, that's what the situation is.
That's actually I was thinking the same thing. You got to do whatever it takes to win a fight. but no, you can win when you
all's
walk
fair in love and war.
Yes, but
the ends justify the means. There's a lot of expressions for
I've never been a fan of government shutdowns, no matter who does them. I think it's terrible for the people who get caught in the middle.
Yeah, in 2013, I got caught up in the government shutdown when the Republicans shut down. Yeah. I swore I would never do that again because it was the stupidest thing we did. Because people don't realize how much it costs the American people. Right now, we have 750,000 employees furloughed. They're sitting at home costing American taxpayers $400 million a day.
We're going to pay them whether they're working
regardless if they work or not. No one's going to work for free. Everybody's going to get back pay.
But in the meantime, they have a lot of pain and suffering that's going through.
Because they're in uncertainty. A lot of them live paycheck to paycheck. Right. But then you even think about all the contracts, the federal contracts we have around the world, and state buildings, the highways, the roads, the defense, that are all stopped right now because no funding is going to it. There's penalties in every one of them. I bet once we get into this, we'll see that that Schumer shutdown is costing us close to $1 billion a day to do nothing. And they can't explain why they're voting against it other than it's politics for them.
Right. Well, Republicans have come this far, and it looks like Trump has resolve, and Mike Johnson and John Thune. They're talking a good game. Will they stick to this, or because Democrats are going to have to eventually say, okay, you're right, we can't.
So,
or do they fold and then they'll
no, we're not going to fold. We're not going to give an inch because where do you give an inch at? There's nothing to negotiate on our side. That's why we're saying. So it's easy for us to say we're not giving an inch because there's nothing that prevents them from opening the government. They could open it in 5 minutes if they chose to. What I think is going to happen is I thought they would open it up after No King's Day. The Democrats that I'm talking to, they're somewhat trying to be reasonable. They thought they said Schumer didn't think the optics of opening it before the No Kings rally was bad for them for primaries. So I thought they were going to reopen it. But yesterday you had 11 Democrats vote against the defense bill that they voted for in committee. They voted against on the floor. Now I think because President Trump made a very smart move by paying the troops that took that negotiating off the table, left the federal employees still for a Russ vote to look underneath the hood and see who actually needs to be working and who doesn't need to be working. it put the Democrats in a bad situation, and their only hope now is that the insurance companies sent out these letters saying they're going to raise premiums by 1,000%. Is what they're claiming, but they also claim that millions of people are going to die because of the one big beautiful bill, which that didn't happen. So I think they're waiting for a stronger hand to negotiate while they're holding the American people hostage.
Those insurance letters will go out.
Think about that.
1st.
The government would be shut down for almost 9 weeks by then. It's absurd. It's absurd what they're talking about.
You don't see some grand bargain. The president might even finally say, "Okay." That's what Senator Kelly said he wanted a couple of days ago. If the president assures Democrats that there will be an extension of the pandemic-era Obamacare subsidies, they'll accept that. If the
we
president
can't assure that because there's
the president couldn't he?
No, he can't. Well, he can't assure how people are going to vote. No one can guarantee an outcome.
He's got a lot of sway.
He's still. That's a very.
I mean, I don't want him to do it, but
yeah, it's very tough for us to say that we're going to vote to extend a premium tax that not one Republican voted for 4 years ago. Democrats were in complete control of the government then. They purposely made the premium tax to expire because it was COVID related. And remember, this was supposed to offset the affordable health care. If affordable health care was actually affordable, then why do we need a $40 billion subsidy going to insurance companies every year?
Look, Democrats have just said, and maybe we do need taxpayer-funded health care for everyone. But they should just say what they want, because that's what we're doing. It's just going to cost more and more.
But what do they want at this time? See, Joe, the problem is they don't know what they want. The party's in disarray. Their party is at the lowest approval rating it's ever been in history. They have AOC and Bernie Sanders, who are socialists, and Mondani, who's a communist, who's running the party now. And then on the other facet of the group, you have Jasmine and Tlaib and Omar.